Well, this is it. It's 4 a.m. on Saturday the 24th of February. I'm just starting off on my pilgrimage for ceasefire for Gaza. I'm going to be walking the length of the Gaza Strip to the northern coast of Western Australia, about as far north as you can get in WA, and return to my home here in Kalumburu. So here we go. Right now I'm walking past our airstrip in the little community that we live in, and the power plant, solar and diesel generated, and I'm aware that these two things are key targets in Gaza. Just makes me think about what's going on in the Gaza Strip right now, walking past airstrips and power plants, and how far removed I am from that all. I just rely on this airstrip almost daily and the power minute by minute, yet the people in the Gaza Strip no longer can rely on these things. So already I'm deeply moved as I begin to empathise with what's going on over there. It's only been 20 minutes since I started this walk, and it's already affecting me. Not too sure about crossing creeks in the croc country of the Kimberley in the dark. I've been reflecting on some of the words that Martin Luther King Jr. wrote in his letter from the Birmingham jail. One of the memorable quotes from that letter, and I may not get it exactly right, but he said something like, "Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere." And I was thinking about that this morning as I walked this incredibly peaceful journey alone in the beautiful country in the far north of Western Australia. It is beautiful as the sun's rising. I have what could feel like peace, but I'm aware that there are many parts of our world that would not experience this peace. That they would be experiencing a different kind of a noise, the sounds of sirens, the sounds of planes flying overhead, and bullets, bombs. And I think a lack of peace anywhere should be a lack of peace everywhere. And I mean in here that we should be restless until our world is at peace. I was just able to get a satellite text message through to Jared McKenna down at Sorrento in Perth. They're walking from Hillary's there down to Fremantle, the length of the Gaza Strip, all a part of Global Ceasefire Pilgrimage. Some people have asked me, what is it that you guys want? The Global Ceasefire Pilgrimage movement. What is it that you want? That's a good question, and it can be summarised in four simple things. Firstly, an enduring and permanent ceasefire. Secondly, food, water, aid, fuel, and of course, humanitarian assistance. The third thing that we're walking for is the immediate release of all hostages, both hostages that are Palestinian, held by Israel, and hostages that are Israeli, held by Hamas. Our fourth demand is that there would be an end to occupation so that there might be a just peace.
Uber Eats delivery to the Gaza Pilgrim. He's done about 10.5 k's. It is 6:45 in the morning.
Well, I've made it to the halfway point. This is the big boab tree that was my goal before turning around and walking back into Kalumburu. It's interesting, the history of this place, very recent history. In the last 2 months, 2 World War II hand grenades have been found up on this beach, just to the east of where I am now. Just this week, the military came in a helicopter and removed one of the old hand grenades. It has a history of war. In fact, Kalumburu was bombed by the Japanese during that war, and this whole area was occupied by our own military to protect the north coast. The bombing of Kalumburu was a mistaken identity. They thought it was an airfield which is just east of here, and so I just reflect on an actual history of war in this little part of Western Australia.
He reckons he's got about 8. I reckon he's got about 12k to go, but see you soon, babe.
Bye.
It's hot out there.
It's been about probably over 10 kilometres since I spoke to the camera last. It's really hot. It's coming on the middle of the day. I'm not more than probably 4 or 5 kilometres from home, but it was just getting oppressively hot, so I've just jumped in for a quick swim in this creek behind me, and have avoided any nasty crocodile type creatures, and yeah, should be home soon. This has been an incredible privilege to be walking on the lands and out to the waters of the traditional owners, the Queenie people, who now share this land with a couple of other mob, but the Queenie, these are the traditional owners here. We received a beautiful welcome to country just a couple of weeks ago from one of their elders, smoking ceremony back in Kalumburu. One of my reflections would be that, not that it was an incredibly long walk, but that distance is incredibly short. Inside that distance, that is the Gaza Strip, 2 million people have been displaced. In a distance that I walked up and back before lunch, tens of thousands of people have been killed or injured. I find it hard to comprehend. The walk was only a success in that I made it back home again, but will the powers that be listen to our cry for permanent and sustained ceasefire?